Good evening, guys. Um, Mr. Pope asked me to provide just a short little message for this year's virtual Ag Banquet and Awards, and it pains me to say this year's virtual banquet because I'm not going to lie. One of the highlights of my year is the Ag Banquet. You guys always have a great banquet. It's always entertaining. It's always well attended. And the awards ceremony is always good. I do thoroughly enjoy the comments by the seniors at the end of the banquet. I get a little nervous sometimes with those comments, but for the most part, I really do enjoy those. But more than anything, I love the dinner. You guys do a great job of putting together a really nice dinner and a really good meal with lots of red meat. And in my world, with my wife who likes to make sure that I eat healthy most of the time, I would say 99% of my time or dinners involve 99% lean turkey in some shape or fashion. So whatever the meat is, if you fry it and it turns white, it's not right. And that's what I eat mostly. So your guys' ag dinner and banquet's amazing because it's just a red meat galore fest for me, and I do get to enjoy it. Um, so I do miss the in-person camaraderie that comes along with the ag banquet. I do. It's always, as I said, it's always a great banquet from start to finish. I do thoroughly enjoy it. But I know Mr. Pope has worked hard to make sure that this year's virtual award ceremony is going to be good. It's the best that we can make it. And so I want to open up with a short story. There was this old rancher. His name was John, and John farmed a small ranch in Montana. And somehow the Montana Wage and Hour Department claimed, because they had heard, so they had claimed he was not paying proper wages to his workers. And they sent out an agent to interview old rancher John. So the agent gets out there and goes, "I need a list of your employees and how much you pay them," he demanded. "Well," replied old John, "there's my ranch hand over there who's been with me for more than 3 years. I pay him $600 a week, plus free room and board. Then the cook over there, she's been here for 18 months, and I pay her $500 a week, plus free room and board. Then there's the half-wit. Now the half-wit works about 18 hours a day. He does about 90% of all the work around here. And I believe on average he makes about $10 per week. He pays his own room and board. Um, and that's what half-wit does. That's the guy," says the agent. "That's the guy that I want to talk to. I want to talk to the half-wit. Please get him." Old John looks at him and goes, "Well, sir, that would be me." Now, I like that story for a couple reasons. Number one, I find it humorous. But number two, it's true. Growing up on a farm myself, with my stepfather being a farmer, I do know a lot of the work that goes into being a farmer. And I do know all the work that you spend, all the time you guys have spent. I know um, all the hours that go into this. And I also realize, especially for my stepfather, um, that it's not always enough to make a living on your own. So it's just something that you do. It's something that you love, and that's why you do it. It's a passion for many of you guys. And in a lot of cases, it's more than that. It's also a great way of serving, providing the community with food, providing the community with jobs. It's also a great service industry. And that kind of brings me a little bit to what I want to talk about with you guys today. And that's the service industry part behind all of this, because one of the things that I would say that I'm probably most proud of when it comes to the Buckeye Central Ag program is the commitment to service. There's been a lot of things that you guys have done, and a lot of awards you've gotten, and a lot of accolades you've gotten, and you should have. And I'll touch base on those as well. But I really do appreciate the focus on service to yourselves, service to the school, service to the local community, and in some cases, in the past 5 years, services to other communities of the nation, and I believe even once overseas that I know of as well. So there has been a lock, a locked and loaded focus on service when it comes to the Buckeye Central Ag Department, not Ag Department, but Ag Program, and that's one of the things I really do appreciate. And I want to make sure that I convey. And I know that starts at the top. I know that starts with Mr. Pope, and I know that's just kind of who he is. It's a part of what makes him up, and that comes out in the program. But I also know that also comes out in our officer teams. So when I start thinking about this year's officer team and the great leadership that you guys have, I think about Tommy Phillips and Jay Kiefner and Savannah Barnett and Sam Hinton, Melinda Neese, Bryn Pope, and Emma Rhodes. I think about that group of students, all seniors and one junior there. And I just think about your commitment to Buckeye Central and your commitment to your grades and your commitment to your community. And I know that the service piece that really does show up throughout Buckeye Central is also a part of who you guys are as well, too. So I definitely want to take a moment to thank Mr. Pope and to thank our officer team, because I think you guys do a great job. I know there's a lot of meetings. I know there's a lot of planning. I know there's a lot of work that goes into this. And I know that you love it, and that's why you do it. And so I certainly appreciate that. And speaking of meetings, I think this year when I was speaking with Mr. Pope, I think you guys have like a 62% attendance rate for your meetings this year, which is awesome. For everything that all of our students do here at Buckeye Central and all the events that you're involved in after school, it's challenging to get to everything, to get to all the stuff that you're involved in. And so the fact that you have a 62% attendance at your meetings just shows that there is a commitment beyond Mr. Pope, beyond the officer team, just by the entire ag program in general. There's a serious commitment to the ag program and its success. Now, that success and that commitment, it shows up, guys. I mean, it's something that's easily recognizable. I mean, let's just think about some of the accomplishments that you've had this year in your contests. I think Mr. Pope told me you guys competed in 18 different FFA contests at the county, the district, and the state level. And you did well. I think you placed in the top 5 a number of times, the top 5 in the state, if I recall correctly. And then always, you did very well in the soil judging. I think you got second place in soil judging this year, and I think that team was what was it? Graham Geisman, Lauren Mann, Bryn Pope, and Sam Hinton. And once again, you qualified for nationals, and sadly you couldn't go. And that's the seventh time in a row. 7 years in a row that you've qualified for nationals. That's just unbelievable. I know we are really good at soil judging. Now, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what soil judging is. I've had a chance to witness it a couple of years ago. We went out to a pit where you guys were judging at. You guys are good at it. I don't get it, but you guys are really good at it. And I know you guys prep for it. I know you guys plan for it. I know you guys work hard at it. And it's something that you're very good at. And then every year, obviously, you get to make it to nationals. And then if we look at your chapter accomplishments, those are pretty impressive too. I think you guys had 28 kids this year back in December show up for your leadership night. That's pretty awesome. Getting 28 kids on a weekend night to go to Buckeye Central for a leadership night is pretty impressive. And then, of course, the Ag Elementary Day that you guys do every year, which is a highlight again for me. You guys probably don't know it, but I usually try to stop in once or twice during that because I do enjoy kind of seeing the different activities going on. I do enjoy watching the little elementary campers kind of going from activity to activity and having a good time. So I believe that Emma Rhodes and Sam Hinton did a great job with that again this year. Of course, as always, I bought a ton of fruit. So your fruit and plant sale is very, very good. It's a great sale that you guys have. It's a great way of raising money, but it's also a great way of providing really good food, healthy food for the community. And again, getting the FFA name out there throughout the community as well. And it was your second year in a row that you've had the scrap metal drive. And then it's over 6,000 pounds that you've collected so far, which is pretty awesome. That's a lot of scrap metal, and that's a lot of time on your guys' side as well too. So I don't want to keep it very long. I know you got a lot going on, but I want to make sure that you knew how much I really do appreciate everything that the Ag program does for Buckeye Central, what you do for our local communities. I think it's an awesome program. Before I was at Buckeye Central, I was a principal at Pioneer Career and Technology Center over in Shelby, and I oversaw a number of different ag programs, and I worked with a number of different ag teachers, and by far the best program in the area then and now is the Buckeye Central Ag program. Now, Mr. Pope will tell you very modestly that Wynford's good too, and Crawford's good, and Lucas is good, and they are, and Bellevue's good, and Plymouth is good, and they are. And granted, I might be a bit biased, but I think top to bottom, I think comprehensively, I think the Buckeye Central Ag program is top shelf. It's one of the best, and that comes from you guys, and Mr. Pope, who by the way probably doesn't talk about it much, but was Ag Teacher of the Year. I believe this about a year ago. I found that out, that he was nominated to be Ag Teacher of the Year. So not only do we have a great program and great students and great officer leadership team, but we have one of the best teachers in the state of Ohio as well too. So thank you to all of you. Great job this year as always. Keep up the good work, and I sincerely hope to see you in person soon. Take care.